to pay for such ugly things. Because people are so greedy, they are so afraid. That's why these people are able to exploit. Otherwise, this is all just nonsense. If you are a sane person, you will not pay anything for these things. They know nothing, and it is so obvious from her face what she knows. There is no grace and no beauty in her face. There is no calmness, there is no serenity, no wisdom. It is all just, she is just a Sherlock exploiting people, taking their very flesh. These are cheats. Beware of such cheat.
Okay,
But
Swami.
if I don't think that even if you pay that much money, you will be able to get out of her trap. Then you will be always in her trap, and then she will just destroy you. She will corrupt you to such an extent that there will be no spirituality left for you. It is like being a yog bhrast, one who has fallen from the yoga. She may be thinking she is doing something very great, but when she will become an old woman, she will be a totally rotten egg or rotten tomato. Her money is not going to save her. And then she will know that she has been a kind of prostitute. I think prostitutes are more honest. They pay a very heavy price to earn money. They sell their own body, which is the closest thing you can have. And most of them must be doing it out of helplessness. They don't know anything to do, or they are forced into certain this kind of situation. But these kind of people, they are dealing in invisible business. They are sheer exploiters. And this is everywhere. If I share something very pure and genuine, no one will give me any money. But people like Ramdev, his institute is called Patanjali Yoga, and he knows nothing about yoga. You cannot make houses on the staircase when Patanjali has given his way is called Ashtangika Marg, just like Buddha's. So you cannot make home on the stair. His yoga begins with yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. But these are all steps for inner purification, so that you can know yourself, you can realize yourself, you can attain to samadhi. So 5 are external yogas and 3 are the internal, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. And what he is teaching mostly pranayam and asana and pranayam. In the name of Patanjali, he is teaching asana. And in his whole sutra, in the whole sutra of Patanjali, there is only one sutra dedicated to asana. Sukham Sthiram Asanam. What is asana? When you remain in a posture where you are in a pleasant state and you can remain still, you can remain unmoving, that is asana. He is not talking about all these distortions of body. Only one sutra. You have to find out some posture where you can remain totally still, where you don't have to do some difficult posture where you become stiff or which is uncomfortable. Find a posture where you can sit very comfortably, unmoving. This is asana. And pranayam is to expand your prana so that it helps you to know your consciousness. It is an expansion which will help you to be free from the imprisonment of this body. When your prana is expanded, when it is awake, then it is easy to realize your consciousness. Otherwise, when your prana is asleep or it is going down, then you cannot become conscious. Then you will go towards sex instead of going towards samadhi. So, he is talking only about asana and pranayam. There he stops his whole spirituality. He is not even talking about the lower things, yam, niyam. Not much. Maybe he teaches something, but not a great expert of even those things. He is a kind of making your body strong only. But that you can attain through going to gymnasium also. Though I am not condemning whatever he is doing is good, nothing bad about it, but then he has created such a big industry. Why it happens? Because when the people, they are not real, they are not in search of truth. It says something about India. They have great ego that this is a very great spiritual country. It is such a bullshit. How can country be spiritual? Can a country know itself? The word for spirituality in Hindi is adhyatma. That means that which is in Atma. That which is in Atma, only individual can know what is in the Atma. How can a country know what is in the Atma? But that gives great fulfillment to Hindus' ego, that we are a very spiritual country. And most of the people in this country is only interested in money, in getting good jobs. They are one of the most materialistic people in the whole world. And they have this ego that they are very spiritual. That's why very few people you will find they are interested in meditation. In a country where the most purest meditator was born, he was born in Nepal, but Nepal was always a part of India. And then he lived his whole life in India, the Indian part. In a country where Gautam Buddha was born, people are not interested in meditation. In a country where Krishna was born, where Shiva was born, people are only interested in karma kand. They are only interested in rituals. Such a fall, such a downfall. And how can if you are spiritual, how can a country be so corrupt? Corruption is in the very blood of this country. People have become so rotten here that it is simply unimaginable. I was telling you about that girl who was the topper in this UPSC examination. And I was praising her that she looked so innocent, so beautiful and graceful. But all that glitters are not gold. Now I can almost predict she will become a corrupt officer. There's tremendous possibility that she will become a corrupt officer. Because morning shows the day. Just in the morning today I saw a video shared by Nitin Shukla. And it revealed everything about her. She has studied in 3 colleges. One is Jamia, the other is JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University, and the third is St. Stephen's. So in all these 3 universities, first this Jamia she has been influenced, corrupted by Islamic influence. Then she was in JNU. There it is a hub for communists, unripe atheists, people who are just superficial but they have a big ego. Then she studied in St. Stephen's College. I don't know much, but there must be great influence of Christianity there. So she knows nothing about the roots of this country. She knows nothing about Sanatan Dharma. So what she will be able to serve this country? Then this man, the man who shared this, her interview where she is giving interview, it is mock interview, it is not the real interview, but it is a preparatory interview. So she was asked about this, do you believe in this Aryan invasion theory? She said that yes, that the Aryans, do you believe whether the Aryan came from outside or they were resident of India? So she said that I believe that they came from outside. This is the theory propagated by Europeans and especially Britishers, just to make India divided. Because the more you create division within a country, the more it will be easy for you to rule. So they created so many division of castes, of different culture, that someone is Aryan, someone is Dravidian. This is total bullshit. The word Dravir is meeting of 3 rivers. It has nothing to do with any race. And now it is almost, there is no proof, or it is certain almost, that Aryans were not coming from outside. Because if they had crossed Mount Everest and come to India, then they would have, in their scriptures, in the Vedas, they would have mentioned that they crossed, and it was so arduous and difficult to cross that Mount Everest. if to pass an examination, you have to write what is written in the history books. And these history books are written by communists. They have, out of conspiracy and out of evil design, both Nehru and Indira Gandhi, they gave communists to write history books so that the Indian would not have any sense of dignity and honor about its own past. And Nehru said very clearly, he said that I am Hindu only by the accident of the birth. By culture I am Islamist, by education I am a Britisher. He knew that majority of Hindus will not vote for him. So he played the same game which Britishers were playing, divide and rule. So he created a vote bank for himself of Muslims, and if you create sharp division in the caste, then those caste who are not privileged, who are suffering, you can just exploit them and use them as your vote bank. So he was doing all those things. And Indira Gandhi did the further damage, because she realized that she cannot win election without the help of communists. So they had a deal. They said that we want you just give us education department. We will write all the history books, and we will have this Ministry of Education with us, and we will have control over universities. So once you are taught wrong history, then any culture can be destroyed within few generations. Now in India there are only brown Britishers. They know nothing about their own history. They know nothing, because all the history is taught wrongly. And this girl was also saying this. She was just vomiting whatever she has read in the book, just like a parrot. She should have said that I've read this in the book, history book, but I don't agree with it. Or she should have given the other theory also. Both the theories are there. Then she was asked about Aurangzeb, one of the cruelest ruler in the whole history. A man who had destroyed so many temples in India, and who was just indulging in all kind of humiliation of Hindus. So at his time, the Hindus had to give, before him also they had to give this jizya tax. Because if you are a Jimmy, then you have to, Jimmy or Dhimmi, whatever you pronounce, whatever way, then you have to give tax. So she was asked that why he imposed this jizya tax on Hindus. She said that because at that time his economy was going down, so he had to ask this tax from Hindu. He had to impose this tax. But when you are the ruler of the whole country, or when you are the ruler of Hindus and Muslim both, then the tax has to be same. How can you impose tax differently. For Muslim, the tax will be very little. For Hindus, it will be too much. And when you have to give this tax, then they were humiliated also. It was allowed that you can spit on their hand or their mouth. Not in the hand, in the mouth. They have to open their mouth. And the tax collector can spit in his mouth. And these people who give interview, they are Hindus. And then she was asked where you have read these things. She mentioned the name of Ramchandra Guha. This man is no historian. He is a man who is here to divide, who is to create this division. He has written the history books just to show Hindus in bad light and to make Islamists look as if they were very high. So there have been series of historians who have been doing this kind of mischievous work. So when you just to pass an examination, you are compromising so much. You have lost your individuality totally. You are writing wrong things, incorrect things, just to get a job. Then it is very clear. It is clear like the daylight that when you will get the job, then you are bound to become a corrupt officer. Because if there is some pressure from some minister, and it is always difficult for an honest person to survive among corrupt people, then very soon you will start compromising. You will become part of them. When you will see that everyone is taking bribes, everyone is corrupt amongst your colleague, what is the point to remain honest? So these people, they have no integrity. From outside they look as if they are very educated kind of people, but this is no education. When your education is just to earn money, and you are using education you say that you have joined this service to serve people, but this is all just hypocritical. Most of the people who join this UPSC, 80-90% of the people, they are totally corrupt. Why they are corrupt? Because their whole syllabus, whatever they are taught, it is no education. Education, the very word education means to draw out. It should come from within you. Whatever is hidden, all the qualities within you should come out. You should be able to know yourself. But what happens in the name of education is things are thrown inside you. Informations are thrown inside you. You are not being made more conscious. You can remain very unconscious. Just you have to become an efficient computer or efficient machine or a robot. So when you live in a state of inner darkness, how you can be of service to the people? When love is not taught to you, when compassion is not taught to you, when there is no way to increase your social quotient, your social intelligence, and you are hoping that these people will serve people. They are not going to serve. They are there to serve only themselves. There are officers in India who have earned about 500 crore rupees and 1000 crore rupees. It is simply unimaginable that these people can be so corrupt that they just go on hoarding money by all kind of wrong ways. And they are very lecherous also. They are very immoral also. They will, in parties when they have drink, then they do things with women, such thing which is, you cannot even believe that these people are called, they are very educated. What kind of education is this? But what they are taught is just bookish knowledge, and that makes them very egoist also. But that they have made so much effort, they have out after so much effort, after reading for so many books, they have passed this examination, and the success rate in UPSC is about something like 0. some percentage. Like if 1 million people have appeared, only 650 will be chosen, and among them she is the number one. Though she doesn't look at present as an egoist person, maybe she had certain quality that is, after being in these environment, these kind of colleges, still her innocence is not destroyed. But the corruption has begun just to pass an examination. When you are saying about Aurangzeb that he imposed this tax just because the economy of his state was not good, and then he had to suppress these Kshatriyas, these Rajput, these warriors, Hindus, you should have told other things also. Even if you had failed in the examination, or they could not have failed you. You may not have stood first. But the very desire to become first anywhere is the desire of a corrupt person. Just to become first, you are losing your individuality. You are selling your soul. That kind of person cannot be an integrated person. That kind of person is bound to become corrupt. And she was the one I thought that this kind of feminine people are joining UPSC. This is good. I have seen many. Many of them are quite beautiful, but only in appearance if you are beautiful. And the one who stood second, she looked completely that of left brain. So when she is answering in such a way, what to say about the second one? But this UPSC examination, this IAS, the Britishers have created this Indian Administrative Service just to exploit the common people. The district magistrate was called collector. So what was his job? His job was to collect tax from normal people, general people. And if they are not willing to give tax, then he had police force. They will force these people to give more and more taxes. Same attitude remains even now. So it is very hopeless if this kind of education continues in India. Already the country is like, the Congress has put termite into the very system of this country, into the very root of this country. The same thing I found about the woman who got this Booker's Prize, the first person to get Booker in an Indian language in Hindi, Gitanjali Shri. She was talking about in one of her interview, maybe it was part of her, she was reading from one of her book or it. So, and she was praising Mahatma Gandhi that it was perhaps part of her book. She said that within inverted comma, Gandhi is saying that one day you will realize that this old man was right. So Gandhi used to have this whim, this illusion that you have to return back to villages, you have to go back to nature. To some extent it was right, but he was influenced by Christianity in that. He was influenced by Tolstoy and other Western gurus which he had. So he was very much against industrialization. He was very much against any industrial growth. For him, charkha was the last thing, this spinning wheel. He was against railways, he was against telegram, telephone, all those things. But now these things are totally totally unavoidable. If you follow Gandhi, the country will remain so poor. He had no scientific mind, he was very unscientific. So she was praising his idea of returning back to village, going back to village, a country based on agriculture. But look why they have given her this Booker Prize. Perhaps it is a conspiracy that through her, because now people will listen to her, she has got such a prestigious award. So they will try to reimpose Gandhi on Indian people so that they remain always mediocre and backward and poor. Now the Western people are, these countries, they are afraid that India is growing, it is progressing. So they will use all means to keep it poor. They will create inner strife, they will create all kind of civil war in India, try to create. They are doing it already and this is one of the other ways. This is how they used Malala also. And she is just a total hypocrite. She has no interest in female right, because she will not say anything whatever is happening in Afghanistan, what is happening to women in Afghanistan. She says nothing about that. But she will talk about the right of woman and girl to wear hijab in India. This is her modern attitude. So she is complete hypocrite. And with Malala, they gave an Indian also Nobel Prize. They shared together. His name is some Vajpayee. I didn't know, but I had suspicion even then that I didn't find that this man looked like he should get Nobel Prize for peace. And recently I found that this man, he keeps poor people in his orphanage. And I always doubt those people who create orphanage. They look as if they are very compassionate, but their agenda, their design is something else. So someone was saying that these orphans, they are converted to Christianity. So he is given grant from Western NGOs and Western organizations. I don't know whether it is true or not. But whatever appears from outside, it is just an appearance. Inside maybe something very dirty may be happening. These people, these PETA people, they say that they are for animal rights. But what goes on inside is very different story. This is a very strange world. Whatever appears from outside as very holy, maybe it may be very unholy. And in the same video, this Nitin Shukla was saying, I was not aware that in the college where she was studying, this Jamia, Hindus girls are allowed, but Hindus boys are not allowed. This is a very strange thing. So they are always planning for thousands of years ahead. That if the Hindus girls are studying in these colleges, you have already made them almost a Muslim if she lives in such environment. And then you can do love jihad. You can, when she will be there, the boys are there, there will be lot of chance that she will get involved with some Muslim boy. And then scheduled caste and scheduled tribe people and backward boys, those who are not of higher caste, they are allowed to study there. But those who are of higher caste, they are not allowed. So this looks, in a way you can interpret it as if this is kind of social justice, but this is not that justice. They are taking their women from you because they need more women so that they can increase their population. So they cannot only rely on their women. So Muslim Hindu girls are allowed. And then these backward classes, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes perhaps, are allowed to study there. Why they are allowed? So that you create division in Indian society. For as long as they will study there in these colleges, you will brainwash them completely. Brainwash these Hindu girls and these backward classes people. That all these upper caste people, they have been exploiting you so much. You should leave Hinduism. But these are all mischievous designs. These are very evil designs. So, but Hindus are in deep slumber. Their sleep is such that they don't understand anything. What kind of conspiracy is going on? But these Hindus have to be blamed. Whatever they are doing, they are themselves to be blamed. This is a great disease of Hindus, that they can never praise anyone who fight for their right. Who try to awaken them, they will become their enemy. Like so many Hindus are now very much against Modi. Many of them say that because he is not doing everything that they want. The Hindus want that Modi should take such step that the Muslims should be crushed. They should be humiliated. and they are totally dependent upon the government, that government should do everything and they can just sleep. If you want your country to grow, to develop, then everyone has to play his role. You cannot just rely on Modi, that Modi will change everything and you can just sleep and watch TVs. So they said, many of them, those who are so-called supporters of Modi, they started saying that he wants Nobel Prize. That's why he want to influence the West, that he is a man of non-violence. Wherever the Muslims are creating riots and they are disturbing, they are doing all kind of nuisance, he is not. And even Sikhs and those farmers who were protesting, he is not taking any action against them, just to influence the West that he is a man of peace, so that they will give him Nobel Prize. But they don't understand even a simple thing, that you say that he is interested in Nobel Prize. If you have no leader who is not greedy, who cannot be bought, who is not interested in Nobel Prize, then what kind of religion you are boasting about? If all your leaders are corrupt, and you are saying that Modi is greedy for desiring Nobel Prize or greedy for Nobel Prize, what you are revealing? You are revealing your own unconscious. This is the collective unconscious of Hindus, that they are all desiring Nobel Prize. They are all longing for Nobel Prize. So they are projecting it on Modi, whether Modi want it or not. Only he knows. But they have concluded, many of them, and even I was influenced for a while, that maybe they are right. But when you don't trust your own leaders, that means you have no trust even in yourself, and you can't see that you don't have any integrity within you. You are so distrustful that you cannot trust anyone. Just today I was listening to one conversation with an ex-Muslim, with the name of the woman I am forgetting. She had a channel, whatever her name is. So someone commented in that because one of the BJP spokesperson, Nupur Sharma or something, whatever her name is, Nupur, she is a lawyer also. Because these Muslims were saying wrong things, abusive things about Hindus. So she also said that Muhammad married a 6-year-old girl and then he had sexual relation when she was just 9. And now some of the Muslims have declared that anyone who will kill her, and they said, I think maybe in the very television debate, they said that she should be raped, and then one of the person of some political party, he said he is a lawyer from High Court, and he said that if anyone who kills her, I will give that person perhaps, I think, 1 crore. So many of those who are just like, they are always seeking some opportunity to abuse Modi, they said that she has not been given any protection, and they are waiting for that opportunity when she will be killed, and they will win election on her dead body. Now whether they are going to win election using her death. So far, anyone who has been threatened or who has been, someone has given threat to anyone, they have been provided good security. So I think she will also be provided. Maybe she is already provided. But when you say such thing, you are revealing yourself. You are showing what kind of mind you have. You have a dirty mind. And then you are projecting it on someone else. So whatever you see in other, mostly you reveal yourself. It may not be true about that person. Okay.